UBC is one of the top schools in Canada. They have one of the best business schools, science program, and engineering programs. So the real question is, how does one get into UBC? So in today's video, we'll be giving you 4 steps to get into UBC to make sure your application is looking its best. The first tip I want to give you is apply early. If you want early admissions into UBC, your application deadline will be in December as opposed to being in January. And when it comes to your UBC personal profile, you really want to prepare what you're going to write for it because it's actually basically an essay with short answer questions. Each question is about 200 to 300 words, and you want to make sure that those are full paragraphs really describing your action. The questions on the UBC application tend to be kind of vague, so it doesn't give you a lot of guidance as to what you should be looking at for writing your paragraph. So one of the questions might be, what is important to you? And since you're going to an academic field, you might want to talk about how you're involved in the community. Maybe it's a certain program that you want to get into, but you don't just want to state that. You want to dive into why that's important for you and break down the steps as to why you got that answer. You want to show your action as to why a certain subject is important to you, especially if you're involved in the community. You want to break down what steps you took to make sure that what you value is truly what you want to do. And this is why you want to apply early on applications, because you have the time to really fully develop your paragraphs. You're basically going to be writing almost 1,000-word essay just answering each question in between. So you want to take time and make sure that everything is specific and not vague. Step 2, balance is key. So even though UBC wants you to spend a lot of time on your application, you also want to focus on your grades as well. So you want to be structuring your timetable to make sure you can fit everything in while giving yourself a break. It's going to be a little bit stressful, and so having that organized schedule is going to help a lot in the timing process. So a tip here is, if you're applying for early acceptance, you can use Thanksgiving break to make sure your application is great. Or if you're applying to regular acceptance, you can do your application on your Christmas break. So it gives you some time to really thoroughly do it. And yeah, just making sure that your schedule is accustomed to what your goals are and what you really want to be doing. So if you're spending Monday to Thursday working on homework, and you've sectioned off time in the evening to get your homework done, and then you spend your Fridays working on university applications and perfecting those, then that's a timely schedule and you'll be able to get it done on time. The next tip I want to give you is tip number 3, making sure that you have the grades. So grades are important. So UBC has a really holistic approach. You want to have the activities and you want to have the grades as well to back that up. So along with tip number 2, you want to make sure your schedule is in place, but you also want to make sure that you're receiving that high academic average. If you're aiming for about 90% and above, then you can almost guarantee that you'll be into that arts program. So when it comes to commerce, sciences, and engineering, you want to hit that higher 90% range, about a 92 and above. Tip number 4, activities. So when it comes to activities, I feel like I'm a little bit of an expert of that because I've seen winning scholarship applications and what it really takes for activities. A lot of students in our program were able to get into their top universities because of their diverse range of activities. So you want a combination of those member roles, initiator roles, and leadership roles. I would try to aim for about 2 in each category. So you could be having a combination of, you started a club at your school that promotes an awareness, which would be an initiator role. A member role would mean you could be part of a certain organization that helps volunteer for the hospital. A leadership role could be, you could be coaching a team, you could be mentoring youth in a leadership position. You want to have that well-rounded, diverse range of activities, and that's going to look really good on your scholarship application or your UBC application as well. You also want to think about being diverse with your activities. So, if you are involved in soccer, you play on a soccer team, you coach soccer, and maybe you started a soccer club at school, you kind of want to branch away from being so heavily focused on soccer and start exploring other interests that you might have. Maybe you're passionate about mental health, maybe you're passionate about sustainability, maybe you want to go and volunteer for the hospital. When you can show that diverse range of activities, that looks really good on an application and it shows your well-roundedness. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Those are 4 tips that you can take with you when it comes to your UBC application. We've seen students in our program use these tips and really take the time with their applications and end up getting accepted into UBC. So if you can apply these, you can definitely maximize your chances of getting in.